is Bruce's Beach. This is it's an iconic beach, especially for black surfers, for black folks in general. It used to be a resort, a black-owned resort in the early 10s and 20s, 1900s, right? And it was taken over by the government, eminent domain, and then it was recently given back to the family, the descendants. And so it's very interesting since it's been very developed, you know what I'm saying? So you see, like, it's not a black neighborhood no more, right? But a lot of us, folks who are involved in like surfing, folks of color, we come here and we surf here regardless, you know? So this is a place that I definitely like to frequent. So I grew up in New Jersey. So I grew up between the towns of Princeton, New Jersey, which is like a bougie university town, Trenton, New Jersey, which is like the hood, and New Brunswick, New Jersey, okay? So I'm all Jersey, you feel me? Yeah. I grew up in like a, you know, subsidized housing situation. It was, you know, mostly black folks, you know, it was kind of hood and we was afraid of swimming. Like the idea of surfing, I remember when I seen Point Break and all these, I was like, yo, this is like, that would never be for me. And I went to the beach the one time. I remember we would go down the shore, like Seaside Heights, you know, go to the boardwalk, and we was like not even trying to get in the water, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was like, yo, nah. So for me, really I learned surfing, and I know this sounds a little hacky, but I learned during the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? But I always wanted to get into surfing. Like, it was just like, my people didn't swim, you know? In my neighborhood, it didn't seem like it was a thing that was possible. I remember watching Point Break, watching Blue Crush, watching Endless Summer, and just being obsessed with like, yo, that shit look really dope. But yeah, it was really not the flavor. And then during the pandemic, the first time I ever even seen like black folks surfing, you know what I'm saying? And so I got like, every day I was in the water just going crazy, you know? And yeah, that's ever since then. I'm a lifer, bro. It ain't just like a now and then thing. Like I gotta be in the water. You know what I mean? I'm over in the cut. So this is 26. If you keep going down a little bit in the cut, that's kind of where, you know, what will be like. You know, I run with Color the Water, which is a surf organization. Offers free surf lessons to people of color. So a lot of times we'll have a tent over there. My man David will have a tent over there. And then, you know what I'm saying, paddle out, just vibe out with the squad and catch some, you know. So yeah. We try to represent how we can, and then also just be about the culture, you know. I get out like 3 times a week, you know what I'm saying? If I get an extra, like a weekend situation, then, you know, you maybe take a little trip. But yeah, usually about 3 times a week. Music, I was always like, that was always a big part of my life. You know, my father was like, he made us take all the lessons and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? He played piano, like I took that. Then when people started sampling beats, I started getting into rhyme. You know, I was like I was a 90s boom bap kid, you know what I mean? Freestyles, the whole 9. And then I started recording on the East Coast as well. Yeah, so pretty young in my 20s, yeah. At first, it just felt like an obligation, like, why I gotta do this, you know what I mean? Like, it was practicing, it was little recitals, it was, you know, discipline, you know? But I gained appreciation, you know, the classic thing, my father was like, you gonna thank me later? And now I do, yo, thank you, Dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a good look. So there was that, but then it took on a new life once I discovered for myself, you know, like, hip hop and the expression that could be. And when we was freestyling and going off, it felt very like liberating. It felt like, you know, you could get like the frustrations from school or from whatever struggle you're dealing with, you could get it out, you know, in the cipher, and that meant a lot, you know what I mean? For me, I did the 10,000 hours in rap first, right? But as someone who never really achieved super crazy success, you know, in that regards, I've just lived a life where I've been able to take up hobbies too, you see what I'm saying? And for me, my rapping has grown together with my surfing. You see what I'm saying? So I'm a better rapper than I am a surfer by a long shot, but I'm like legitimately, I surf. Like I'm in it, like I'm never gonna not surf. You see what I'm saying? Like, and so before I even started working on the music and infusing it with surf terminology or anything like that, it was like I was already plugged into like a surf community here. You see what I'm saying? Like, really feeling like I know some of the codes so that it made sense and making sure that it actually like worked together, you know what I mean? That the concept felt right and as an artist, and it does. And I mean, I love it. Like, I didn't even know, like, when I first did my first little surf rap demo, I was just kind of like, let's see, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna work if this ain't, but then I was just like, yo, and I can't stop rapping about the culture, the surf culture, and what I would even say is, especially black folks and people of color's place in it. You know, that has become also part of the niche there, you know what I mean? So I feel also very passionate about that. I gotta say, first of all, there's an element here of like reclaiming nature, you know, a nature that I think that a lot of folks in the black community and communities of color have not really had either privilege to have property near or be encouraged to, or have the free disposable time to enjoy. Now, interestingly enough, with the surf thing, you get it from both sides a little bit, because folks just starting out, a lot of us are adult learners, a lot of the black surfers are adult learners, so we paddle out, and there's mostly white folks out there. Sometimes it'll be the old cranky white folks who talk about Topanga, right? A lot of that reputation come out, and then they're like, yo, what are you doing out here type of vibe. You see what I'm saying? And then also we have a culture a little bit more where we want to be musical about it, and we want to talk, and we want to bring our culture to it, right? And folks who have already sort of quote unquote claimed these breaks, you see what I'm saying? Because they grew up with it, they had that privilege, you know, they already have their own rules about it. And so, you know, when we break those sort of like rules, it's like, oh, now, you know, you feel less welcome. Oh, I remember paddling out one time, my man's had a little speaker, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, whose music was playing? Lauryn Hill. So, you know, I mean, log rap, you're saying, you know, we was on that boom bap. And one of the older white surf gentlemen was like, you know, who's turn that off? Whose thing is that? You know, I'm here in nature. And it's like, nah, like, you don't get to dictate, you know, how nature gets enjoyed, right? So the fact that, you know, I came here and found a group, it was specifically a group called Color the Water. There are other groups, there's Black Surf Collective, you know what I'm saying? There's Ebony Beach Club. My man SoFly has SoFly Surf School, a black-owned surf school. So, you know what I'm saying? We started to build more and more. So once I got the plug into Color the Water, who's giving free lessons to surfers of color and making us feel like, you know, more comfortable and like we belong out in the water, then I plug into some of the other groups, you know what I'm saying? That definitely gave me the base to feel like, okay, like we out here and we could bring a new element to this culture. We don't have to necessarily follow these preordained rules by folks who essentially, and I'm not trying to hate on, you know what I'm saying, like if you surf, like it's love, you see what I'm saying? But if you're trying to come at us on some like, oh, you know, you don't belong here, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like y'all took it over from Polynesians. You know, there was Ghanaians, you know, back in the day, West Africans back in the day surfing, you see what I'm saying? And so like, you know, we get a chance to reclaim this. I ain't trying to get too Malcolm X on you, but that's kind of where, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I feel, you know, I feel passionate about that part too. Because like now I got black folks, I got folks who are, yo, what's up with surfing? I got rapper friends, yo, take me out when I go out there. Shout out Murs, I'm trying to get my homie Murs, we did a song together recently. And I'm like, yo, come out here, bro. Like I'm trying to tell you, we got you, bro. You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, word, like he's from LA, you see what I'm saying? So we trying to get, his son's name is Surf. I ain't trying to out you Murs, but you know what I mean? Like real. So yeah, you see a little bit more of that once the ball gets rolling too. So yeah, for sure.
Yo.
It's funny, when I first was getting into like the underground hip hop shit, before I got into more of a surf rap niche, no. It was an interesting one because it was like I wanted to be in the vein of Black Star, right? I wanted to be in the vein of this, like, okay. And like even I would go to Black Star shows and it was like, yo, this is not the hood. Like I thought the hood would be there and the hood wasn't there, you know what I mean? And so same thing, I was doing shows that, but with this, it's been interesting because, I don't know, I just feel like it's on a spiritual level with surf. There's a frequency that like people are tapping into of all ages, and even like across different racial and economic demographics that I didn't even think would necessarily be tapped in. I figured it would be the same thing. It would be like maybe a bunch of like 35 to 45-year-old white folks and like maybe a couple of brothers, you know, who like are boom bap revivalists, you know? But no, I'm getting people like, yo, that's hard, or like 16, 17, you know, like in the DMs talking about like, yo, like, let me get a verse, you know what I mean? Like this, that, the other. And that's when I really feel also next level encouraged, you know what I mean? Because this path ain't easy, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would say trying to do rap real seriously, you know, it's like as you get further and further down the line, you are at the Teohopo Olympic levels of, you know, of challenge, of the reef is right there, and, you know what I'm saying, life is crashing down on you. So every little piece of encouragement like that, especially within the community, means a lot. When I'm like stumped on a verse, stumped on a chorus, Gotta live life, you know? Gotta let it go. Gotta be like, okay, it's gonna come. Have that faith, do the next thing, make a call a friend, see how they doing. Get out. The ocean will provide inspiration. A nice hike will provide inspiration. You see what I'm saying? Watch a movie, just deal with real life, and sometimes it's just do laundry. You see what I'm saying? I had dope ideas while I was doing laundry, you know what I mean? And then before you know it, like, okay, now we get back in there, and it's good, and that's always been for me. And I've had it where I toil over a verse, and I'm like cooking so hard that I'm breaking the pan, you know what I mean? And then like, I think I made something dope, I go back the next day and listen to it, I'm like, yo, I worked so hard, and it's really not dope. And I've had other ones where I was just like, boom, throw the thing in, boom, the spice, the vibe, the sauce. And the same thing can happen out in the water too, right? You know, that first wave that I gotta get it, you know what I mean? Boom. And then before you know it, it's like not that dope of a wave. But like, you know, you're like, all right, we're gonna float, we're gonna let this happen. You know what I mean? Or I'm trying to like think of the technical aspect. How can I turn on this wave perfectly? You know what I'm saying? What, you know, what am I gonna do, as opposed to just like, okay, like let this, like really tap into this wave, this moment. I want to be able to do any type of a vlog rap show that y'all have, bro. Let me know. I'm saying the live shows are wonderful. I got to do a show out in North Shore of Oahu last month. That was beautiful. I would love to do almost like a rap surf safari type thing, international. You feel me? My goal would be, you know, to get to the place where I could own property by the beach, that I could help homies like Color the Water, you know, also maximize their dreams, you know, like just contribute to this movement any way I can. And I would also just love to collaborate with artists I love. I would love to like meet Mike February, you know what I'm saying? And like work on a video with him, all that type of stuff, you know? I want to see black surfers in the next Olympics, you know, black American surfers in the next Olympics, you know? I want to perform at the next Olympics, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to perform at the World Surf League meets, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff, you know what I mean? I love hip hop culture, I love surf culture, and anywhere I can go to continue down that road, down that path, I'm gonna be there.
You could catch me surfing every second, every wave another blessing. Just my presence is a weapon, slice through the disrespected colonizers of breaks to give a lesson. Bitch, don't ever drop it on my motherfucking culture. Promise it will hurt more than the venom from a cobra when I tie you to a surfboard and fucking catapult ya. I'm focused on some dough to stack, not these hoes to tap. So unless her name is Doja Cat or Oprah, I can't indulge ya. Get off the sofa. I went from hanging on the corner to hanging 10 in Kona. A rider like Winona, but my style is never stolen. Always dropping smart shit, got a clever colon. I've been through hardship, now I savor every motherfucking moment cause it's golden, yeah. We see the salt water as emotion for all the hopeless and the broken. Remember, stay focused on the ocean.